It's Gurley power. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
From the second largest city in the U.S., Los Angeles, California, we've got football as EA Sports coverage of the NFL is on the air. And a few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with the Arizona Cardinals. With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. This fielded at the 2. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. So out come the Rams down for their first possession. They're led onto the field by the former Cal Bear and the #1 overall pick in 2016, Jared Goff.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some.
Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Now Goff will hand this one to Gurley. And he's able to get more than half of what they needed. That brings up a 3rd and 5. Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. Goff going to hand it to Gurley. And this effort won't be enough as they rally up to stop him a couple of yards short. Call it a gain of 3, and it'll bring up 4th down. And how about the call here? They need 2 yards in their own territory on 4th down, and they're going to go for it.
Value 3. Go.
They're going to go for it. It's Goff. Buying time to his left. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. The escapability in evidence there as that one good for 15 and a first. A couple of first downs on the drive already, as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Henderson, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13. Now on 2nd and 13, Goff, that's taken in, complete to Reynolds. A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
Well, things are looking pretty darn good on this first drive, aren't they? Came right out, set the tone, this time with a big pass play.
And if the peek behind the curtain that they gave us or their game plan, I don't think that's going to be the last one we see.
I think you're exactly right about that.
2 yards that time, a stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play. And quickly now, here's a look at the Rams offense.
And a big key is going to be how can these wideouts create separation from the defensive backs, because we've seen some early success in the passing game in this one, and that's going to need to continue.
Back to the ground, this time with Gurley. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 17th touchdown now on the season. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're sharp, they're focused, and they're locked into everything that they're doing.
So out come the Cardinals now for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the #1 overall pick in the 2019 draft from Oklahoma. It's Kyler Murray.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Murray going to throw. It's caught by Roberts. And he gets this up just shy of the 30 to the 29 before he's out of bounds. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down. Second and 6, just inside the 30. To throw, it's Murray. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. The intended receiver was David Johnson, and it's 3rd down.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball. There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood where the 3rd down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up 4th down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football and got to him and made sure they didn't give up much run after catch.
They'll start out on the ground with Gurley. Good move by Gurley. Look at those stick skills. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. The drive starting play, a good one. Give him 19. A lot of running backs, a little bit of a disadvantage when you start talking MVP. Might not be the case this year. You think he's got a shot, don't you?
I do. I think he's got more than a shot. But what he's going to need here down the stretch this late in the season, he needs that big closing game, that game that we're all going to reflect on and go, oh, my goodness, did he put up a number, let's say 200 plus?
A good job defensively there on Gurley as they hold him to only a yard. It's 2nd down. Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Well, look now at our starting defense. They're a unit that enters play way down, number 28 in the NFL right now against the run.
And when people talk about facing a challenge, they are certainly getting one in this ball game, because they're facing the #1 rushing unit in the NFL, which means it's going to be a contest they've got to be prepared for from the first snap.
And he'll get it across midfield and down into Cardinal territory. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now. Henderson will try and run for the 1st. It'll be a 1st down for the Rams there on a pickup of 18.
Here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to run with.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. Delayed give, Goff to Gurley. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. 19 yards the pickup there. Move the chains.
And that's how you pick up a 1st down. Those shoulders went from parallel to square, and then he brought force with him to finish that.
And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Darrell Henderson, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Solid job up front. Really just a solid job all the way around to get that one in.
That was well executed, wasn't it? Well blocked, well run. End result, 6 points.
Touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. Cardinal football here to start quarter number 2 as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Here's Murray. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down. They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Call it a loss of 2 on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down. Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that?
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. It's been a good first half so far. They're up 14-0. Points here, they could really put them in command before intermission.
And it's all well and good what they're seeing and how they're feeling right now. But this is the NFL. How many times have we watched 14-0 leads evaporate and quickly? So how have we seen them combat it? Continue to run your offense, but don't back off at all. Don't start looking at the clock. Don't start thinking about, hey, just take care of the football. Keep attacking. Usually the best way to maintain control.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
It's a gain of 11 and a 1st down L.A.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
1st down Los Angeles there with a pickup of 14 yards. Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Let's go,
Goff turns and gives to Gurley. And finding room to work, he's down to the 2-yard line. Calling an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard. He's had his eyes on 7,000 career reps. And he takes it across for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, his 2nd TD of the game and 18th of the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage. Zerline good with a PAT. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Murray and the Cardinals with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. And an alley to run. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona 1st.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
They cannot block. Let's go.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
It's a first down on a gain of 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Murray's going to keep this himself on the RPO. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait to enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. Johnson, the intended target, and it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Johnson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. 9 yards on the carry there, but it'll be 4th down now.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
And that's the risk of the long field goal miss here at this stage in the 2nd quarter. You give up great field position.
And that gives them one more opportunity to make something happen and something big. And we've seen crazy stuff happen at the end of halves.
And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Here's Goff. And they'll set up the screen to Gurley. And this is a guy who last week not only helped his real team, but really helped a lot of fantasy teams. 3 trips to pay dirt. They've got to contain him.
And watching him play is like going to lunch with you when you order that combo plate, right? In this case, his combo plate is he can go over the top of you and catch it in front, turn it into a big gain, run past you, and then uses his size and his physical abilities to keep you away from the football. Hard to defend this guy.
Reigning NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Goff now to throw. And it's caught for a Rams touchdown by Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Rams tack on to their advantage.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well organized, well coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's it, baby. We got one.
Christian Kirk and company heading back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? 2nd quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us, but sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Single receiver.
Murray now on 1st down. And his throw here's incomplete. Andy Isabella was the intended target. That'll bring up 2nd down.
They've been playing sound fundamental defense thus far and able to keep this offense from creating a major dent on the scoreboard.
Able to force the incompletion, but still waiting for that game-changing play. You feel like it's coming, the first sack. And down he goes on the pressure from the Rams defense. Now the Cards going to call another timeout, their 2nd, as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. Throwing now is Murray, and the catch made by Johnson. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. It'll be a gain of 12, but it will also lead to 4th down. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. A final shot before half from Murray. The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. The weather might be cold, but the playoff races are heating up here on this final Sunday before Christmas. So let's get to it. We'll get things started up at Ford Field in Detroit. And it's the Lions who hold on to the lead in that one. Matthew Stafford, 3 touchdown passes. Next, we'll head over to check on the Giants at home at MetLife Stadium. And they were winners in their ball game over the visiting Dallas Cowboys. 31-0, the final score. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And it's the visiting Jets who have the lead in that one. Jamison Crowder, a touchdown reception. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Cardinal offense coming back out. Let's give you a look at the playoff race. Now, this is into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Very impressive. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there for sack number 22 on the year. And, folks, that's just a half sack shy now of Michael Strahan's record of 22.5 set in 2001. After the sack on first down, Murray, screenplay, Johnson. And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Call it a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. Excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the Rams will go on offense here for the 1st and 10. Now the attention turns back to the Rams offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll try and start the drive with Gurley. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Again, they run with Gurley. And 3 yards there takes them to the 45. The Cards going nickel. An extra defensive back out there now on 3rd down. Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And he's going to be taken down here still a couple yards short of the first. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Check, 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 check.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. And, he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
Officials so cognizant of that call nowadays, but that one looked pretty easy.
Yeah, you're right. They took out of their hands having to wonder whether it's a 5-yard or a 15-yard inadvertent or not. Now it's a lot easier. You see it, you call it.
They try to run on first down, but this defense says no dice. They stop them a couple yards behind the line of scrimmage. On 2nd and 12, Murray. Crabtree has it. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. The line to gain is the 33 on 3rd down. From the gun, a run for Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 41. 4th down now after a loss of 2. Hate to say it, but that play typifies what we've seen from this offense all game long.
Yeah, don't you think maybe you flip over your play sheet as the offensive coordinator and see the side that says try something different? You know, because this has not worked all game long. They continue to try and get it done. They've got to come up with something a little bit different. Try something special, something they haven't seen.
Anything to score a point. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Todd Gurley, wave goodbye. Touchdown, L.A. Todd Gurley, 52 yards as his guys continue to pour it on. But go ahead and give him the hat trick. He's been in the end zone now 3 times.
You toss your fedora first, okay? You go ahead and do that. But let's be honest about it. That 3rd one, that's the most spectacular run he's had in the ballgame. It's almost as if he's been playing his own game of, can I top this? And each run has been more spectacular than the last.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And last time out, another missed field goal, so maybe their confidence wavering a little bit right now in the kicking game.
And I'm with you on that. I think at this stage, they'd love to not run him back out there in a tough situation. But let's face it, they may have to. So right now, the head coach is talking to the offense coordinator and saying, call this game like we're going to put it in the end zone. Let's try and take the field goal out of it.
It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To Thompson on the draw. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long. Now a draw play with Drake. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Cardinals on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. Here's Murray. And able to find Kirk complete. That goes for 14 yards. 1st down Cardinals. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 46. Throwing on 1st down is Murray. That's going to be caught by Kirk. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 yards the pickup. Good enough for an Arizona 1st. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. He'll buy some time right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Throwing again on 2nd down. Murray got it complete to Crabtree. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. From the gun, Murray. And the Rams He's got him. They bring him down. Samson Abuka in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Here's Murray as he sets to throw it. Complete. It's Johnson. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. They get only a yard there. Now it's 3rd and goal. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Murray now, 3rd and goal. He finds his man Johnson. He'll wind up being stopped for no gain, and it'll lead to a 4th down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Well, it's a Pyrrhic victory at best, but, Charles, no team wants to get shut out, so it's hard to blame them for taking the 3 there.
You can't blame them one bit. It hasn't been the best performance, that's for darn sure. But there is something to be said for fighting to avoid the goose egg, and they're at least trying to finish out strong.
The Los Angeles offense set to begin their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Gurley with a carry on 1st down. He'll only get a couple. 2nd and 8 forthcoming. It's the Pro Bowler Chandler Jones who makes the tackle. Here comes a 20th carry for Gurley. So a nice job to break the 1 tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down. Tackle made there by Jordan Hicks. Goff on the draw play to Henderson. And a short gain down to about the 33. A gain of 2, just like we saw on 1st and 2nd down as well. Deuce is wild.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level, because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just...
And he fires one that's intercepted. Tanner Rapp with a pick. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. On 1st down, it's Gurley. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Rams football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And down inside the 15 he goes. It's a 1st down on a gain of 10.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8. Now it's Gurley. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Henderson. And they're going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there, and often you talk about the three phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a fourth phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the fourth quarter. An incredibly short kick fielded way up there. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
That one covers 29 yards, first down. Now a desperation throw deep down. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And that will write a finish to this ball game. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feeling like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for Los Angeles, it's another win for them. And you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the San Francisco 49ers.